There we go. Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 5 of Pop of Color Live with Clara Charron. We talk about the music industry in bright and colorful ways. This is my live studio audience, Louise. Hey, girl. And we're going to be discussing online presence today. It's going to be done a little bit differently, but first of all, we're going to get to the news. So I've got 2 big stories tonight. The first one is the president of Republic Records, which is owned by Universal Music Group, is stepping down and mutually parting ways with his company amid a series of sexual harassment allegations. And so my personal opinion is it's really great that there's this amount of accountability. So Charlie Walk, former president, hey Sophie, hey, nice to see you on tonight, was also a judge on The Four, a new singing competition that was airing on TV this year. So he's not going to, hi Mark, he's not going to be on the season finale as he has stepped down just this past week. My tea of the week I'm drinking is Cream of Earl Grey by David's Tea, so thank you to them. So you might be wondering why someone with such a vibrant, colorful personality is drinking a boring tea. Well, you can know that the opposite is also true, where a boring, run-of-the-mill company does something interesting, which is what the biggest news of the week is. Microsoft is going to completely buy Spotify in a $41.8 billion deal, essentially wiping out their IPO stock exchange. An interesting that I've been covering the last couple weeks. Alrighty then. And so I think where this gets interesting is because Apple Music is predominantly used by Apple users, so people who have Mac computers or iPhones use Apple Music. So if Microsoft is going to buy Spotify, hey new people, then are they going to install Spotify on any computer that runs Windows or Microsoft software? Because that would be really, really interesting. So if Apple computers come pre-set up with Apple Music as they're phasing out the iTunes store, will any Windows running computer come with Spotify? And that's how they're going to capture that market share and force people to pay subscriptions. So when you get a Microsoft Office suite, is it also going to include Spotify? Is this part of owning a Microsoft Windows running computer to pay for that? Is that going to increase the amount of paid subscriptions to Spotify if everyone who owns a Windows computer has Spotify downloaded and thrust upon them, which can then result in more royalty payments to independent artists? So I think that's going to be really, really interesting to see how that plays out. Hey, Leonard! So, on to the news, on to my presentation of the week. So I'm going to be doing things a little bit differently. So for those of you who don't know, I also teach a night class on music business at a community college here in Ottawa. And this week I'm teaching a class on online presence. So I thought, what if I did a rehearsal of these slides I made today for the class on Wednesday night and ran it by you. Hey Mark, nice to see you. So yeah, I'm gonna do a live, and I would love to get your feedback as we go about the lesson-ish presentation I'm doing as a Facebook Live, so that I can be better prepared for Wednesday. And then I'll do the one I was going to do this week next week. It's gonna go on. So we're gonna start online presence. So I'm going to be basically talking about social media, artist websites, and newsletters. Here we go. Here we go. Did you know I have stage fright? That's actually something I don't really talk about. Lots of people think I'm actually a super extroverted person, but I'm really not. Oops. I've never done it with the phone before, but first time for everything, and it's important to keep innovating. You don't innovate, you die. Basic rule of business. So, number 1 rule of social media. Hey, Autumn. Go to where your fans are and where you can bring value. So when it comes to the social media platforms I'm going to be talking about, I'm going to be talking about Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, because if you follow me, you know those are the ones I am on most actively. But if your fan base is really active on another platform I haven't mentioned, and you're really good at that one, then by all means go full speed ahead. I just don't have enough experience to be able to confidently talk about the platforms. Hey, everyone, say hi in the comments. So let's start. I'm going to do Facebook. So once again, this is how I would be doing it. I would be doing this in front of a college classroom. So some of the pages are missing, but with every platform I'm going to bring, I'm going to pull up the inside of my account on this class projector. And for Facebook, one of the things we'll be doing live in class is creating an ad and boosting this video on Wednesday. But for now, we're going to go with the pros and cons of Facebook. Pros. The news feed is controlled by an all-powerful and ever-changing algorithm. This means that I'm sure most of you know this, but when you look at your Facebook news feed as a regular user, things aren't necessarily 100% chronological. Facebook takes in so many factors, and their internal machine algorithm decides to show you the bits that they think you would be most interested in. Hey, Leonard. So this stops from overcrowding and the waterfall and you never being able to find anything again. But it also has a downside, which we'll look at the cons later. Second pro of Facebook, you can access all-powerful data on your fans, both current and potential, who are real people. Everyone who starts a Facebook account chances are a very real person if they're going to go out and like pages if they're not a bot. But Facebook doesn't let you sign up with a goofy made-up name. So as a result, you can get some pretty good data from the vast majority of people who are using Facebook legitimately. Another good thing about Facebook is the event pages. My cat is doing precarious things. Anyway, the event pages. Is Facebook, one of their big pluses is you can create event pages. Hey, Deborah! Nice to see you, which is great for organizing, something the other platforms don't do. Internal posting scheduling. Internal post scheduling is also something that's really good for Facebook. They have their own internal post scheduler. So if you have an official page, so this isn't a page that you can add a friend, it's a page an infinite number of people can like, you're able to go inside it and schedule posts. So if I want something to show up at 6 a.m. tomorrow, I don't need to be up at 5:59 preparing it. I can do it tonight after this live stream, set it, and the timer will go off and it'll do it automatically. But unlike other platforms, the one inside Facebook doesn't get punished. Say Instagram, for example, has that issue where it's against their terms of service to have a third party post things on a scheduler. So you have to be live posting there. Twitter, you have to use a third party, so lots of those are paid. There are some free, there are some ad supported. Facebook has one inside. They don't punish it in the algorithmic news feed, which is a really big plus if you want to plan ahead for the week. I do this. I'm currently at the point where I plan ahead for my day if I have a busy day, but I'd like to get ahead to be able to plan the big things for the week and then get into the one-on-one engagement when I have time. And lastly, Facebook doesn't lend itself to vanity metrics. What I'm trying to say by that is when you look at other platforms, lots of the platforms that are with followers and following, they tend to display them in a big horizontal bar. So you see how many posts someone has, how many people they are following, and how many followers they have. So this is why it's called vanity metrics. But if someone is following more people than they have followers, that usually means that they aren't very popular. And it's hard to gauge. You can see the difference. There are people who do everything they can to never follow more people than have following them. Whereas Facebook, the thing with that is, unless you go onto your own personal profile and look through your likes, then you can see how many pages you've liked, but no one else knows that. The only thing that shows with on a Facebook page is how many people like you. So now to the cons of Facebook. The newsfeed is controlled by an all-powerful algorithm and is ever-changing. And I've tried keeping up, you can't keep, it's gonna drive you crazy. There are people whose job it is to follow the news and keep up with Facebook's ever-changing algorithm by going to all these conferences and press releases from Facebook headquarters. But for the average independent entrepreneur or musician, there's no way. So the best thing you can possibly do is find a general strategy, create a brand, and eventually get people off Facebook onto your newsletter, which we will talk about later in this presentation. Facebook isn't always friendly towards outbound links or third-party services. I mentioned this with the scheduling. They want you to use their internal scheduler, but the same is true when it comes to sending people other places. Like I've noticed this, for example, if you like this page for an amount of time, you know I have a blog. When I post direct blog links as part of the status, you probably don't see them as often as the times I post the photo of, say, the artist I'm interviewing or the banner of the article, and then the link is the first comment in the caption, first comment below, because Facebook likes the photos and doesn't want you to leave Facebook. Because Facebook makes money by people staying there and looking at ads and then clicking on the ads. They're not going to make money if you leave to go to YouTube. That's, for example, why if you're an artist with a music video, you want to upload a version natively to Facebook, because if you keep posting your YouTube link, Facebook isn't gonna like that. They're not gonna show it to a lot of people. The algorithm decides, and the algorithm is prioritizing things that stay on Facebook and provide value to the users on Facebook. So they keep coming back to this platform, stay there, see the ads. That's another reason why I do this show over Facebook Live instead of pre-recording it on a video and putting it on YouTube. Ooh, Facebook likes ads. Facebook likes ads, yes, but Facebook also likes Facebook Lives, because the longer you stay there watching the video, the more chances you're going to see the ad for the UGG boots you were looking at the other day, or that really specific color of mug, the exact same one, because they track you all over and they want you there. And if it's in the moment, it's live, you're in the thick of the action, they're more likely to sell you something, you're more likely to stay put, so they want to encourage that in the news feed. The next big prediction, by the way, for Facebook, where it's going, is audio. So I'd keep an eye out for that. Yes, for those of you who saw my Facebook Live, it wasn't too far. My Facebook April Fool's joke, where I joked about an audio clip, but it was actually just an emoji. It's not too far off from the truth. That's why I gotcha. Next up, Facebook pages have a steeper learning curve technology-wise. So if you have a Facebook profile, it's pretty straightforward after a while. You get the hang of it, writing on your timeline versus writing on your friend's timeline versus where the news feed is versus how to wish someone a happy birthday. It gets a lot more complicated when you get to the business side of it with a page, because there's so many more powerful tools. They've recently launched the Business Manager, which they're heavily encouraging business pages to get to switch towards. So it opens up all the analytics, the huge dashboard. I haven't even scraped the surface of how it works. So it's a lot harder to learn than just figuring out I can tweet about my lunch and get likes. Next up, organic reach is shrinking after the honeymoon period. So between 2005 and say 2015, this was the peak age of free reach on social media. All you had to do was create a free account, and if you posted good content, you were rewarded. Well, those days are sort of gone now that the companies are figuring out, okay, we've got all these people, they're loyal to us, how do we make money? Their priority is now monetizing. So as a result, it's getting harder and harder to get organic reach on Facebook pages without boosting the occasional post or creating an ad. Last but not least, Facebook is currently in hot water right now. For those of you following the news, the vast majority of the population just realized that they are not the customer, they are the product of Facebook. And because they're not paying, because it's free to use, Facebook is making money by selling their data to companies who then display the UGG boots or that exact color mug in the sidebar and are not too happy with that. So as a result, lots of people, I think, going forward might be hesitant to reveal a lot more personal info on Facebook, or like more pages or get too active beyond looking for pictures of their grandkids in the future. Okay, next platform, Twitter. Tweet, 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 tweet. No, my cat's still under the bed. She's not coming up for that. I didn't fool her. Pros, waterfall style newsfeed. So, thing with Twitter is, as opposed to Facebook, which uses an algorithm to prioritize what it thinks the users want to see in their newsfeed, Twitter never stops. Everything is in real time. It's perfect chronological timeline. So if you stop for a second to go to the washroom or tie your shoelaces or whatever, it's going to flow past you. So that is a pro and a con. But on the bright side, you don't have to deal with an algorithm. Another pro about Twitter, it doesn't mind outbound links. This is where you can send people to your blog, to your website, to your newsletter, to your YouTube, to your Facebook, and Twitter doesn't care. It's not going to punish you about that. Punish you for that. Twitter is all about engagement, not self-promo. So going, hey, look at my new thing all over Twitter is not going to do good. It's very much community-based, more than like being a soapbox where you get up and you announce your thing. Is very much like think of it like your personal Facebook, but it's only people in your industry. That's how, if you try to look at it with that lens, you're going to do a lot better. So joining in conversations, commenting on other people's photos. When people say their new song is out, listen to it on your streaming service on your phone or on YouTube, and write them and reply to them a nice thing. Instant access to people simply by tweeting at them. This is absolutely awesome. This is something I discovered the power of Twitter, and that's something I really love about Twitter, is you can hit up people, go like at such and such, maybe not necessarily a superstar artist, but this is, for example, how I got my first couple writing placements and projects when I was first starting Pop of Color, which was going at magazine name, I really want to write for you. What do I have to do? And they reply. If they're around your size or bigger, or slightly bigger, chances are they will reply. Which is a great way to get a connection, and then that branches off to email, that branches off to creating real relationships solely by engaging in the conversation. Hashtags work on Twitter as opposed to Facebook. In the bottom, you're going to see the list of trending hashtags. You can set it by region, so you can set city, area, country. I have mine set on international, but I've been meaning to switch it. I'm trying to find a way that I can switch it to just English all over the world, because my audience isn't really regional. I just can't read Spanish or Brazil beyond Justin Bieber, please come to Brazil, trending every other day. But if you're able to find a hashtag that is relevant to you and you have something interesting and insightful to say about it, if you're able to jump into that conversation, it's a great way to get you noticed. And finally, one of the best things about Twitter is it really gives you a chance to develop your social media voice in a low-stakes, casual environment. We're going to be talking about this a little bit later in the presentation, but your social media voice isn't necessarily the same voice you have when you're talking to your friends or when you're talking to a grocery store cashier. It's who you are, who you present yourself as when you're your brand, when you're your artist self, your business self. And this is a great way you can practice getting that phrasing, getting that personality across without having to formalize it. So cons of Twitter, waterfall style newsfeed. If you don't get noticed, you don't get noticed. You won't show up later. So you usually have to tweet the same message several times to get noticed. What is it? The latest stats are like one tweet lasts an average of 30 minutes or something, and then before it's completely lost. It can be daunting for more reserved people because it's such a chatty, engagement-oriented, talking casual or casual place. You're going to get, if you're someone who's more shy or more serious or isn't quite at ease yet about sharing pictures of your lunch or your dog or your outfit of the day, if it's not a post photo shoot, it's going to be harder for you and a bit more of a learning curve. Next con, 280 character limit. As you might have noticed, I like to talk a lot. This can be a problem. Since it's far less professional and formal, many a dumb remark has been made and started wildfires. There's Twitter, everything is absolutely instant. If you first joined Facebook and thought that was instant, Twitter is nuts. So if you make a dumb comment, it has the potential to go viral before you get it by the time you finish lunch. Or get off a plane in one famous case. Another downside, Twitter has a bigger troll population as users don't need to use their real names. As Facebook, it tries to get real people and on it and focuses on real people and dissuades people from using fake names. Twitter doesn't care. You can name yourself anything. You can have any profile picture that's not a person. As in, it can be like a cartoon character, an animal, just a plain egg, which can lead to anonymous trolls. Luckily, you can block people, but that's one downside of Twitter. And lastly, vanity metrics run amok because there is that big horizontal bar across your profile with how many people you follow versus how many people are following you. It can lead to some people trying to make themselves look good over being actually engaged and actually following people they care about versus what makes them look good and makes them look more impressive. Third social media platform I'm going to go over, this is the last one of the social media platforms, is Instagram. Pros, all about still silent pictures. If you're someone who doesn't like to talk or doesn't know what to say, this is great. If you've got a creative photography kind of side, this is a great way to do it. It lends itself very well to creativity behind the scenes, humanizing yourself, and not just formal photo shoots, not just your CD cover. This is really a place where you can showcase who you are on a day-to-day basis and become a friend with your fans. You're their cool best friend who's really into the music, not necessarily an untouchable celebrity. It has a younger demographic than Facebook. For better or worse, Facebook has an older demographic, but baby boomers still buy music, so. And lastly, hashtags have a longer lifespan on Instagram than on Twitter. Because Twitter, once again, has the waterfall newsfeed, it also has that for hashtags. So even if you tag something, acoustic guitar melody, on Instagram, it might be found 2 years later from someone searching that and scrolling to the bottom because it's not water flowing. It's still visible and it still holds a little bit longer. Cons of Instagram, it's owned by Facebook. It's currently using a Facebook-style algorithm, but just announced they are switching back to the chronological one. Yes. Using certain hashtags, even innocent-sounding ones, can trigger a shadow ban without warning, thanks to past digital vandalism. I'm going to read you some of them right now. So, I mean, what it means is when you hashtag a photo, some of them can set off, some of them are banned hashtags, so there's a bunch that are like, say, rude words, swearing, racist slurs, you know what I mean? Or body parts that don't really lead to clean photos. But then there are a bunch of these who have been abused in the past, and as a result, you don't want to use them for your thing. So for example, alone can't be used. Because I've got a list, it's in the description of the video. Bang bang. What are some weird ones you've got here? Carving, so yeah, don't use that for your pumpkin jack-o'-lantern. Date, so no days of the year or dates. EDM babes. Eggplant. What else have we got? Goddess, okay. Kansas, like the state. New Year's, oh, Easter was on there too. So, happy Easter, everyone who used Easter, and now we'll see their engagement decrease. Skype. No. Snapchat. No. I don't know if that's company or there's too many bad things going on with Snapchat. Master is on here. So, forget hashtag master with your mastered audio tracks. It has something to do with slavery. And hashtag white girl. So, I can no longer hashtag my Starbucks order as white girl. Vanity metrics run amok. And Instagram also heavily discourages third-party posting apps. Okay, so now we're going to talk about the content. And I realize this is a longer episode than ones I've done in the past, but I'm really excited about it, so I hope you guys stick around. If not, there is the replay. So, I'm going to be talking about content ratios, which are thanks to my good friend Leonard, who's in the comments right now. And he recently launched a preview of a course he's doing on Facebook for independent musicians without spending money. And this is one of the things he taught. The program is officially launching next week, right, Leonard? I have a link to his business in the comments in the description of this video. But he recommends 70% of your content across social media platforms be brand building. So this is everything that humanizes you, that engages your audience, that is not asking for something. So whether it be behind the scenes photos, whether it be memes, whether it be asking your audience about themselves, motivating them, quotes, photos, anything that's not asking them to do something, that would be brand building, 70%. 20% should be network building. So this is where you tag people from what I gathered from his course, this was the best. This is amazing. So whether it be tagging other artists you're playing a show with, the venue you're going to play the show at, the studio you work at, people you admire in the industry, if you tag them to create promotion and show that you're an active, engaged member of your music community, that is great. And lastly, only 10%. So 1 in 10 posts should be a call to action. So those are anything that has an action. Go listen to my new song. Go vote for me. Buy my album. Buy tickets to my shows. Hey, Alan. Yes, Leonard has some really good ideas. So this is something that really inspired me. So please go check him out. And Leonard, you also have a Facebook group based on based on the stuff you do for independent musicians. You should link that. Okay, so lastly with social media is finding your voice. So everyone is a voice when they speak, but you might want to refine that when it comes to talking on social media as your brand, as your artist self. So for example, some questions you might want to ask yourself is what you want to use. So American, British, or Canadian English, punctuation, capitalization, serious or casual tone. How many is two hashtags? Emojis, yay or nay. If you're a band or a group that has multiple members, how will fans know who is writing which posts? How do you greet your fans? I greet my fans with "Hello, lovely rays of sunshine." But a hip hop artist with more street cred than me might get laughed at or think they're making fun of him if he's making fun of them if they do that. Do you have any daily, weekly, monthly social media rituals? If you haven't noticed, every Monday I go, "Good morning, happy Monday. What are your biggest goals this week?" So, what can you talk about other than yourself that fans would also be interested in? Are your fans mainly in your city? Can you talk about your sports team? Are lots of your fans also interested in hobby or TV show or anything else that they would get a kick out of you talking about? Cute animals never fail. Well, but they can get a kick out of that is also not necessarily all about yourself. And lastly, are you comfortable with unscripted or live videos, unscripted posts? If not, how can you prepare to still remain authentic and human so you're not reading off a complete script while you're doing these things and while you're putting yourself out there? So I'm going to quickly go over the last bits. Yes, I realize this is running long, but we're going to go over artists' websites. Why do I need an artist website? Social media platforms are rented. You do not own the data on them. You are in complete control of the user experience on your website. You have the ability to get newsletter signups, sell music, merch, beats, and concert tickets all from one place. You're in charge of the sales funnel, so you can lead them exactly where you want to go to make sales. Your bio is displayed in its full glory. Shameless plug, I write artist bios. Do check out my artist services. Oh, there it goes. There it goes. This is backwards. In the description there, and I can write you a beautiful, beautiful bio. Serious music industry people know you're also serious, and you want to own your own website before a label steps in and controls it for you, because that can lead to fan confusion if you leave the label or a drop from them, but they still own the domain and are not going to give it to you. Essential website content. You want a newsletter sign up, a bio, your music, obviously, live show dates plus links to tickets if you play live, your merch for sale, photos and videos so media doesn't just Google image you, but they can actually pick up some good things for when they want to talk to you or interview you or are doing a review of you without scheduling it first. Your EPK, media, so this would be testimonials, quotes from the press, links to your social media, and your contact info. It's not enough to have a contact form. People don't know where those go. Can you leave a band email, leave your management booking email, a phone number, anything that people can get a hold of you right away with if they want to book you for something big. So website design tips. Use bright colors friendly and keep it legible. So no neon on neon, please. If you want my website, pop of color, for example, link there. Notice the background is not white. It's very light gray because that's not straining the eyes when people are reading long text. Don't use Comic Sans. Don't use any weird writings for long things of text. Yes, that cursive is very, very cute with the hearts for dotted eyes, but if people are reading your entire bio with that, it's going to leave a headache. Optimize for mobile. So if you have friends with different size phones, different models of phones, have them pull up your website on their device to make sure nothing is running off the side, everything fits, everything looks good on various mobile devices because you don't know what every phone your fan has. Don't get too creative with your website page titles. I have met artists who have websites before where their pages on their menu are discover, get inspired, join the journey. Not just tell me which one's your bio and which one's your contact page. Avoid pimped up flash animations because those slow down everything. No skip intro sequences. So when you click enter the website URL, you have to sit through a 30-minute video or a 30-second video or equally awful that you can't skip before you can actually enter to find what you're looking for every single time. Blinking banners and your music on autoplay. Yes, have your music player. Great. Don't have it automatically playing because if I'm listening to something in my earbuds and I click on your website and your music starts blaring, no matter how awesome that opening screen guitar riff is, I'm going to flip my earbuds off my head onto my desk and not want to try you again. An SSL certificate. So if you're building your website yourself, make sure you have a safe search certificate. That's the difference between http://www. and https. So you'll notice over the last year or so, almost every website has upgraded to HTTPS, and the reason for that is because Google prefers it now. It's safer, it's more secure, or information is stored more securely, it's easier to load, and Google prefers it. So if you want to rank higher in Google, have the trust of your fans and who might be buying merch online, and you don't want big pop-ups saying this website can't be trusted, we think it's hacked, get an SSL certificate. Mine is free, but if you're handling a lot of credit card orders for lots and lots of merch, you might want to get a paid one. There. Don't start a blog or news section you can't commit to updating regularly. So if you want to have a latest news section of your website, but the last time you updated it was 2014, you know, if there has been other news since, people won't necessarily know that. List your past shows in reverse chronological order. So if you're going to talk about your live shows, where you're playing next with links to ticket sales, and then your past shows, put them from the soonest to the first show you played. So going backwards, because if you put the first show you played to the latest show you played, and it starts in 2012, people quickly answer, well, you haven't played a show since 2012 unless they scroll all the way to the bottom of the page. And keep your website content and domain registration up to date. Don't let that expire. And remember to update everything. So, hosting and domains. So you've got two main choices. I'm not going to get too technically detailed about this, but you can either self-host, so that's what I do, or have a monthly rental. So this would be through a company like Bandzoogle, Squarespace, Weebly, So it's basically the difference between owning the land and buying and renting a condo, to give you an idea. So total control versus control within the rental per month fee. So if you're in Ottawa, Ontario, we're going to be on June 9th at 11:30 a.m. Saturday. Bandzoogel's Dave Cool is hosting a musician workshop, musician website workshop at Capital Rehearsal Studios. I have the link to that in the description in case you want to come. I'll be there, so come and say hi. So when it comes to choosing your domain name, you want to make a wish list of domain names, either on paper or on a Word doc or something, before you try to find the one you want. Something that happens with domain names is lots of them are taken, like usernames, and there are also what I like to call domain poachers. So they try to see what people are searching for, what people are trying to buy, and snap them up and try to sell them to you at a higher price. So yeah, make a wish list, maybe a top 3, top 5 if you have a common band name or a common first and last name choices. So if your number 1 choice that you absolutely want has been taken by a domain poacher, weigh the pros and cons of paying their price they're trying to sell it to you for versus getting creative with choice number 2. I have a good friend of mine, for example. Well, she's in a band now, but when she was looking for a website for a solo career, she happens to use her first and last name, which are the same first and last name as a fictional character on an American drama TV show. So that was taken, and they were trying to sell it to her for, what was it, $2,000 or something, that domain. So she just added music at the end. First name, last name, music. And last but not least, we're going to be talking about mailing lists tonight. Why do I need a mailing list? Social media platforms are rented. You do not own the data on them. Social media platforms come and go out of style, but what do fans use to sign up for the next one? Their email address. And you can reach fans directly. It's easier to hang on to emails and save them for a later date than social media posts. It builds super loyal fans. And this is a calculation from Ariel Hyatt, but 1 email list subscriber is equivalent to 40 social media followers. Man, doing mental math right now, I feel so famous and popular and viral. So my last slide of the night is newsletter tips and ideas. Offer something free and exclusive in exchange for their email. Very few people are willing to just sign up. Nope. So try to give them something. Don't frame it as yet another newsletter like what the stores in the mall send you every single day for 10% off their gosh darn jean in shorts. It's really push the freebies aspect, really push the value to them as opposed to just something else littering their inbox. If you play lots of live shows, ask your audience for their geographical area upon sign up. Either their postal, zip code, the closest city they're willing to drive to see you play, because then you can geolocate, target, and segment your list when it comes to sending a newsletter to announce. So if you're sending a newsletter, say, to announce that you're playing a show in Toronto, you can segment your newsletter to do everyone within a 2-hour drive radius of Toronto is going to get this newsletter, so that I'm not sending it to someone in Sydney, Australia, trying to get them to come to my show in Toronto, Canada, so like this, everyone feels your emails are more valuable to them and not cluttering up their inbox, which is always a very good plus. Idea, ask our fans for their birthday upon sign up so that you can send them something for their birthday. An exclusive track, a card, a personalized video of you singing happy birthday to them. Try to send newsletters regularly, not just when you need something being money. So for example, for me, I send my newsletter on the 1st of every month. There are artists who send them twice a month. There are artists who send them once every season. And there are artists who send them only when they need money for their GoFundMe campaign. I tend to prefer things that are regular and that I know are going to be valuable and worth it for when I open them. I know they're providing me value every time. They're not just calling me up to ask for money. And lastly, but not least, keep it legal. Keep it not spammy. If you're in Canada, you need to comply with the CASL regulations. That's Canadian anti-spam laws. Every country has their own version of them. But basically, I know the Canadian laws are, for example, you can't use Gmail and copy and paste every single email address into the BCC into your Gmail and send it, because Gmail's going to punish you for that. You need a physical mailing address that you can put at the bottom to show that you're a legitimate company. So whether it be an office, your home, keep it legal, and you need to have an unsubscribe button that actually works. So that was a long presentation tonight. I'm sorry, I usually don't go over half an hour, but once again, this is a class I'm teaching on Wednesday night, so I wanted to run it by you. If any of you in the comments or want to email me some suggestions of how I can improve this presentation in time for Wednesday, I would be all ears. Keep in mind, you guys don't have the slides and the visuals, but I'm really hoping for the best. It was great seeing you tonight. Thank you for all the new people who showed up. Thank you, Leonard, for your support. I'm so excited and looking forward to working with you in the future in your company. Please remember to grab that free branding style guide with my newsletter sign up. I write bios. I've also got a virtual tip jar to spoil me and my cat. So fund my tea addiction and fund my cat some toys in the shape of sushi addiction. So yes. I've also got some references, the invitation to the event and on Building Musician websites here in Ottawa, the news, and yes, have a wonderful night, everybody. Y'all are awesome. Happy April, happy Easter weekend. May warm weather come all our ways very soon. Have a great night. See you next week.